Hey everybody, welcome to the Rig on Wheel show. I am Kameel Gaines, your host and the CEO and founder of the Rig on Wheels Broker and Recruitment Services. This is your first and only truck driver recruitment show. And of course, I don't have Pearson today. We gonna let him off today. We gave him a day off. But who we have is one of our recruiters from Rig on Wheels, and it is Nimar. I don't think we ever told you all that Nimar lives in Toronto, Canada. And I just want to point that out because Nimar has moved now, and she lives in this high-rise apartment, and it's in the sky, and I'm kind of jealous. It's just so amazing. So every time we get on, like our Google Meet and everything is like so awesome. Nimar, show them your view. The view outside.
Oh, I have my blinds. I
Oh,
have
they're
to look at my
closed,
blinds first. Yeah.
Okay. Like, it's so amazing. I'm like, we are all on a meeting and we say, oh my God. But we have a lot of stuff in store for you guys. So what we do is we talk about industry insights, news, recruitment tips, driver tips, the whole bang. But I love it when recruiters are on because we typically have good question and answer periods, whether it's other recruiters asking questions or drivers asking questions. So please do not be easy on us, and don't be easy on Nimar, because I'm not easy on Nimar. And like, literally ask as many questions as possible. This is the Rig on Wheels show featuring MVT, which is Mesilla Valley. So we will be talking about a lot of jobs, hot jobs from MVT. But keep in mind, we do recruit for over 40 companies. So we have insights about a lot of different companies and what different carriers are looking for. So basically, the first thing I want to get into is this diesel. Okay, let me pull it up. I literally got it down here. Okay, so here. Okay, so diesel dropped 4.6 cents. So we are at 3.8 84 cents a gallon now for for diesel. We're doing this consecutively over a month now. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think this is like the 5th week, if I'm not mistaken. But I always am the one that try to compare. I'm the compared person, right? So even though we look at and we know eggs are like $250 million, when you go to your neighborhood Piggly Wiggly, it's like $1 million just for eggs. But I want to be a little realistic and talk about how things are better than it was last year. So last year, things were 4.6 cents more. No, 4.9 cents more. So we are still almost a nickel more, less, sorry. We're a nickel less than we were last year. So I like to say, all of that. Did you want to say something, Kayla? Not Kayla. Nimar? It seemed like you wanted to say something.
No, I was
No,
just listening to you about diesel.
you was listening to me. Okay, I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if you were to say something. Like if you was trying to make me just because diesel went down, you was trying to make me buy another expensive, unnecessary purse. We'll leave that for
Yeah.
later on in the show. Note to everybody: do not go and visit Nimar in Toronto. She is going to make you buy unnecessary purchases. Okay, do not do that. But another thing is, let's talk about rates. So something Pearson and I really talk about a lot, and I am so excited that the second half of the year is like right around the corner. We are like 2 weeks away. I have been waiting for June 1st. I am so excited. I don't know what to do for June 1st to come. If June 1st comes and freight and everything is not booming, I'm probably going to slip into some like horrible depression. So everybody, please, just check on me. But right now, everything has been trending forward since April. That really, yes. So drive-in rates are up 4 cents. So on the spot market, that is $1.94. Flatbed rates, they dipped down a little bit, 1.5 cents. So they're at $2.44. That's not going to stay steady. Everything is like this in our industry, but that's not going to stay steady because if you think about it, all of that is seasonal. We're really into the season with the housing and all of that. So flatbed is going to go up. Don't even worry about that at all. Reefer, I am really excited about this. It saddened me so much just to see reefer tanking and not doing well. But reefer has soared 16 cents. So now it's at $2.31. So that is fantastic. We are really, really moving in a great direction when it comes to freight. Something that we talked about earlier in our meeting was the different companies that are opening up jobs. And like I was saying, we're third party recruiters. So we're not married to anybody, literally. But I mean, like, as far as with carriers. So we're able to see the different carriers when they open up jobs and all of that. And that gives a great indication as to how things are moving. They're very smart people, these operations people, the VPs and better of recruitment at these carriers. They are extremely smart people. So when they go and they start opening up stuff, when they're putting money into their marketing, that's a great indication that they know some stuff is starting to cook, and that's what's happening. What do you have to say about everything that's opening up, Nimmer?
Yeah, like in the past week, we have seen so much difference. Like there were literally very few openings, but now so many dollar stores opened up, a few of the local accounts. So like it feels like things are getting better. And as you said,
Yeah.
June 1st is near, so we can already see it.
Yeah, we can already see it. We see it start
Yeah,
happening in April. Before we knew it, our noses are just always down and working, right?
yeah.
And but we literally looked up and looked at everything that we had done in April, and we was like, holy shit. I turned over a new leaf. I'm not cursing. That just started today. Pray for me. But like, I'm like, what is going on? Like, this is great. So things are really moving in the right direction. So we know, I'm not an economist, I just play one on TV, but I really have great faith that everything is going forward. Something else you wanted to say? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, it's just that positions are really opening up, and even with MVT, we have way many more positions than we had before. So it's just an
Yeah,
indication that they have better rate and things are getting better.
things are definitely getting a lot better, a
Yeah.
lot better. Kayla, I wanted, let me write something down so I don't forget this. Um, And Kayla, do you have the two pictures that I sent you?
I do.
Okay, great. Look at me. I was being just this fancy person earlier. So first, if you can, before you do that, we want to talk about it started today, and it's the International Road Check Week. So that is today. And if you, because I know everybody within the trucking world has their Faces of the Road 2024 calendar that you can go to the rigonwheels.com site and purchase. But right here, it has the International Truck Week 14th through the 16th is the International Roadcheck Week, and it is for all of North America. So that is Canada, United States, and Mexico. Okay, that's what it covers. So that is what we're going to talk about. There are two areas of focus for that. So if you can pull that up. Okay, good. So there are two areas of focus. There is your tractor protection systems and then your controlled substance alcohol possession. So we're going to talk about the tractor protection system. Okay. So that is going to be the tractor protection valves, supply valves, anti-bleed. You really need to make sure that you are doing your trips, your post trips, your pre trips, all of that. You want to confirm that there are no air stop leaking, because that is the things that they are looking at. Um, Inspect for all of that, because they will inspect for all of that. Make sure everything is in working order. Okay, you want to make sure everything is in working order. You don't really want any tickets for this type of stuff unnecessarily pulled off the road, any out of service tickets, for anything like that. Okay, if you have any detailed questions, go directly to the roadcheck.org for any additional information, and you'll be able to get all of that. But I definitely need you to make sure that your pre and post trip is done. A lot of these different things are not being caught just because of that. Okay, so now let's get to the fun one. If you can pull up the other picture for me. Now, this is going to be your say no to drug picture, or at least for me, this is your say no to drug picture. So the second focus is your controlled substance and alcohol possession. If they have any reason to feel that you are impaired, that's going to be an issue. They will do inquiries when it comes to your drug alcohol clearinghouse. Remember, there are so many people that they caught last year that was still driving, that should not have been driving, because they had already been referred to the SAP program. One great thing that the FMCSA is going to be doing for us in November is downgrading those driver's license. So what I'm happy about is the different organizations are going to be speaking to one another. Okay, so if you drop dirty, your license is going to be downgraded at your DMV. That is good. There are have been a lot of fraudulent carriers that have not been um, uh, reporting to the clearinghouse, which is against all the rules. But that's one side of it. The other side is the FMCSA is taking care of the downgrading. Once you have completed the things that you need to complete, then your license will be upgraded again back to a Class A or a commercial driver's license, not just a Class A. It could be Class B or C as well. But that is how that goes. So remember, there can be inspectors will observe to see if there's any use or impairment. You will have random queries done to make sure. So tips for the carriers is to establish a strict, clear policy against the controlled substance and alcohol possession or use, period. Regularly do your queries and update the statuses and make sure things are flipped from prohibited if need be. The tips for the drivers is don't be in possession or use controlled or alcohol while on duty. So something I want to talk about, and I know Nimar is going to have some gripes and she want to talk about it too. Even when you go to orientation, so carriers, anybody in orient that does orientation as a carrier, the coordinators, the recruiters, processors, I have you covered with this one. So drivers, please listen. That time is not yours. So even if you're going to be in orientation from 8 to 4, you get out of orientation and you go back to the motel or the hotel or whatever lodging they have you staying in. Do not go to the local Piggly Wiggly. Don't go to ExxonMobil, 7-Eleven, nor go to your neighborhood liquor store, bar, or whatever and get you any whiskey, beer, or anything. You are on company time. That is not a reset. Do you get what I'm saying? You cannot drink, period. Same way as if you was on the road and you get off work, you cannot drink or period until you are on your resets. Okay, so it's the same thing. We're saying this because you have no idea how many drivers go to orientation. I'm gonna let Nimmer finish the rest. Nimmer, you finish.
Yeah, we had one driver, I guess it was last year. He went to orientation, like did his drug test and everything, did his class, and then the company caught that he was like drinking alcohol, so he was just sent home from the orientation. So I don't think you guys want that for you, so
Right.
yeah.
Don't do that. So that's part of it. That's drinking on the job. That time is not yours. Okay. That is still on company time. Same if you're on the road. That is company time. You are not supposed to be drinking, get caught at a bar, or anything like that. That is not your time. There's no time at all that any open alcohol, closed alcohol, or anything should ever be in your cab. Okay? Okay. Now, scenarios. You're on your reset. You decide to go to Motel 6 or Red Roof Inn or Hampton Inn or wherever you want to go, and then you want to have you a beer or whiskey. That is up to you, as long, as long as you're not getting drunk, but that's your time, but not when you're not off work. Off work is on your reset up to 48 hours, not on your 10-hour break. That's not going to work. Okay. You
Yeah.
can and will get popped. If, and what I mean by popped is if they give you a random, then you will show positive and you will become referred to a SAP program, and it was just alcohol. So think smart. This is your driver's license. If you have a problem with what I'm saying, I respect it. However, this industry is not for you. Go and do another job. Respectfully. Okay? That's what I say to any driver. Period. That is not your time. And if you don't understand that, that is okay as well. This is just not the industry for you. We need and demand professional drivers that understand their time is resets up to 48 hours. That is where your time is. Your time is not your 10-hour break when you're over the road and regional driver. Okay? Kayla, do we have any comments or questions as to what I just said?
We do have a comment and a couple comments and a question. The first comment is from Jerry Banks, Future of Trucking. This is great news for the industry and the economy. The second comment is from Ting Ting on YouTube. I listened to last week's program and I loved how you talked about, as a recruiter, that you do most of the talking to the companies for the driver. Ting Ting also asked, is the substance abuse program an online program I can do at home?
So the substance abuse, thanks, Ting Ting, first of all, for listening to our program. That is great. And if you ever have any, feedback that you want to see something else, please let us know. We need your input. So online, it everything depends, but typically you're going to be going into a substance abuse facility and doing your counseling. But yes, I have heard that you can do it online as well. So I'm not going to say no, but the majority of them you're going to go in and do your classes and your counseling. And then your substance abuse counselor is the one that refers and decides how many random drug drops that you're going to do in the future. So that's how that goes. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you so much. Okay. Anything else,
That's all I
Kayla?
have for right now, Ms.
Okay,
Kameel.
good. I didn't want to go past that with anything else. Let me see if I have any other notes on here because I know I wrote down an extensive. So basically, making sure that you adhere to all of the regulations, that is very, very important. And the reason for the road checks are for several reasons. One, it allows the departments to know what needs to be worked on, how far we have come as a sector or an industry, who we can pull off the road, right? Congratulate the ones that are doing well, and then see what other regulations need to be done, what needs to be framed differently, and all of that. So that is what this is for, and awareness. The more we talk about it, the more we're aware, because some drivers literally would assume, and some people would literally assume when they get out of orientation at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, that means that they're on their own time. But because of this road check time, we're talking about it. It's an awareness time. So that allows us to bring it up. Anything else you want to talk about with this, Nimar?
Not really, but yeah, just make sure that you adhere to all the regulations, because if you are in the industry, you have to follow every rule and regulation. So yeah.
Cool. Jerry, did you want to say anything? Because I know this is definitely your wheelhouse. You are a SAP and have always been a SAP expert. So did you want to say anything? Okay. If you wanted to say anything, Jerry, just let us know, and we will. I know you're not prepared to jump on, but we can definitely just be able to say whatever it is live on the podcast. Okay, so Kayla, let's definitely go to our next our commercial break. And I want to talk to Nimar basically about the driver culture and what's going on, and if she feels like things are shifting and changing out there with our drivers. So we'll see you back in 2 and 2. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Okay, so because I like to take advantage in a good way. So take advantage of the fact that we have a recruiter and Nimar talks to the drivers 6 days a week. So I want to pick your brain, and I know that as an industry, we have, all of us have been at fault of allowing the culture in our transportation industry where drivers feel they can walk out of one job and get another job. Okay,
Yeah.
that is no longer right. It's no longer, even at your second chance companies. It's still really not as easy as it once was. So do you think that drivers are understanding that now, or do you think they still don't understand? Tell me
I
what you.
think majority of them are like they're adapting to the shift, we can say that. Like as we talked about number of jobs, like earlier most of them would be like, it did not work out for me. How is it my fault? I just left it. I did not like the way someone spoke to me or anything like that. Like little things and they just leave the job. But now I guess they're like more understanding and they know that they need to build a career, not just like have one job and then hop on to next job. So now I guess they like try to build a career with one company. And also when it comes to the pay, like earlier drivers used to be like, oh, XYZ company is offering me this much cent per mile and all that stuff. And then we used to talk to them like, it's not the cent per mile that's making you the money, it's the miles you're getting. But now drivers, I guess majority of them, they are understanding. They talk about how many miles we'll be getting, not what the cent per mile will be getting. Like you can get a higher cent per mile, but no miles, you won't make any money. So I think they are understanding what's going on, like, and they are going on with the shift, like, they're more adapting to it.
I like that. So I'm, first of all, I'm glad about that, because I was talking to colleague Marcus, and I say colleague Marcus because I got a son Marcus, so I always feel like I always say that colleague Marcus. But I was talking to Marcus, and Marcus has been doing this for 14 years, Molten Consulting, and he's a recruiter as well with a bunch of recruiters on staff. So I always felt like it was going to take quite a bit of time for that shift, but you're feeling that the shift is already starting to happen. Why? Why do you feel like that's happening?
Maybe because they don't have the other option other than to shift with what's
Mm.
happening.
That's a good
Yeah.
point. That's what I was thinking. As I was saying it out of my mouth, I was thinking a necessity. If you don't have a choice,
Yeah.
if the majority of companies are doing this, even the second chance companies are doing this, you're either going to conform or leave the industry. You
Yeah.
don't
Well,
you
you
don't
don't
have
have
a
any other
choice
option.
there. Yeah, you don't have any other options. So I kind of like that. And another thing that I do like is I like how, whether the carriers wanted to or not, um, they all have gotten on board and said, we have to have a better driver. You have some people that'll think like, if you're a third party recruiter, you don't want that. And I say, no, we do want that, because in the beginning, it makes things hard. However, if you've been doing it as long as Ring on Wheels has been around, you definitely 100% want that. You want it to be a quality driver. And I'm not just saying individually because I have a family. I'm talking about like as an agency. You want a quality driver because it makes it better when you're actually trying to place drivers with companies. It's not as you're trying to just figure it out, like praying that this company takes this driver, right? You can actually look at the requirements and you can say, this driver matches this company, and this company. And you can say to the driver, okay, which one of these companies work best? I'll put you in with all three, but which one works best? What is your A, B, and C? So you can have a game plan for your driver, you know,
Yeah.
that type of thing. So what has been some of the feedback from the drivers now that things are opening up? Any feedback that you're getting from drivers?
Not really, but yeah, I do feel that as things are opening up and drivers are looking for those things, like we get so many calls. Do you have any dollar store openings? Do you have any family dollar openings? Things like that. So, yeah, like the things are opening up. I cannot say like any feedback, but more and more drivers are applying. Like since we advertise for the jobs that we have this opening, and we are getting like plenty of calls for those.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That is good. Okay, so now give me some things. Give me three things that are negatives, so we can try to see how we can change them. Now, whether it's negatives that you are finding, no specific carriers. I don't want any carriers to start crying. So, but I'm a comedian. But like, so let's get off the drivers for a second. But like three things that you want to see different with the carriers. What do you want them to do different?
I'm not sure, but maybe like the carriers being upfront with the drivers about everything before they get on board. Like, I do have some drivers who just give me a call and they're like, we went to so and so carrier and the things were not what we expected it to be. So maybe like be upfront with the drivers before they come to the orientation so you can save your time and the driver's time. Like, it's wasting both of you guys' time if the driver does not know the job he's going to be in. And the second thing is about the equipment. Like, I was talking to this one guy today, and he was like, my truck keeps breaking down. I'm always on the road standing stranded. Like, my truck is always broken down. I cannot get no miles. Like, I'm always just waiting. So maybe that's the second thing. Like, have like good quality tractor trailers, because that's where the drivers are like spending majority of their times, especially the over the road and the regional drivers. Like, they spend anywhere between like 5 to 7 days to weeks and weeks over the road. Like, they have to stay in the truck. So maybe like have good quality trucks, and yeah, that's about it, I guess. Mainly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so this is, I am knocking stuff over. I don't even know how that happened. Y'all wouldn't even believe. And it's not like I'm a technical person, so it's not like if I have some technical issue that I know how to change it. But this is, I want to sum this up. So we want professional drivers. We as an industry are demanding that we have professional drivers. I don't advocate for drivers. I only advocate for professional drivers, period. Right? So that means I am only going to advocate for the professional companies. Now, you could be a second chance company. That's not a problem. Everybody has to go somewhere. But just like I tell a driver that they have to communicate with the company is required to communicate with the driver. So whether that means through us, through them, however you are getting to your drivers, if they come through us or if they come directly to you, you get my point. That speaks volumes, because if they can't talk to you in the beginning, they already see that what's going to happen when they're out on that road. Scenario: if you are trying to communicate with the driver and you can't get this driver on the phone ever, can't ever get them on the phone, can't get them to confirm for orientation, even though they're telling you they're really going to be there, you know that they're not going to communicate with their fleet manager, their dispatcher. They're going to be poor communication with your shipper, your account, everything, right? We don't need that. That's not professional. If in turn the recruiter, the third party recruiter and or the potential driver cannot get communication from the company, that says to us and to the driver that when they get stuck, and they will get stuck because it's trucking, when their truck breaks down, and it will break down, I don't give a dang blasted if it's a 2024, it will break down, right? They're not going to be able to get you in order to get it fixed. You're not going to have a plan B because you don't have a plan in order for your recruiters to be able to communicate properly to the drivers. So whether that means that you have the wrong recruiters, the wrong system, the wrong whatever, I'm not going to get into those things, but that's what that means. Equipment. We demand that the driver take care of the equipment. Okay. Now, if you are a faith-based person, okay, and you are a driver and you consider yourself and you eventually want to be your own owner and you want to have your own trucks, how is it that you are going to be, by the higher power, you're going to be trusted to have your own truck if you can't take care of ABC's trucks? Why would your higher power, mine being God, trust you with that? Come on, think about that. Now, let's go to the carrier. Why would you think that a professional driver wants to get in your nasty truck or beat up truck when it's only maintenance clean, when it's not really clean? How much does it cost to really have a decent or a nice mattress where it's not smoked out or bed bugs and just a nasty truck? It's just maintenance clean. It's not really clean. So why would you do that? Would you put your child in that truck? Why would you think that they feel that this truck is really going to get them from A to B? So then they're not going to take care of your customer, and the truck driver is the one that's the first person that sees and deals with your customer. See how that goes hand in hand right there? So those are the two things that Nimar was talking about. And just by the way, Nimar writes the blogs for Rig on Wheels. So these are the things that she talks about in the blogs all the time, is what it takes to be a professional driver, and then taking care of the equipment, and then taking care of your driver and having good equipment. Both of those go hand in hand. You can't think that you're going to be blessed to get your own trucking company when you're not taking care of this truck as if it was yours. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And if you think it does, I'm not going to say anymore. I have to keep my mother's good name good, okay? So that's it with that part. But what I want to do is take a break. And then when we come back, I got 3 hot jobs right off the press. Our internal recruiter, which we love so much, Josue, told us 3 hot jobs that he wants us to go over, and that is going to just be like excellent. So I'm ready to talk about it. And Nimar has like been just throwing them in, like throwing the drivers in. So she knows these accounts like the back of her hand. But either way, we both are going to talk about them. So, Kayla, if you can definitely take us to commercial, we'll be back in 2 and 2.
My name is Josue Fierro, and I am a recruiter, and I've been with Mesilla Valley going on 3 years now. Before I joined the Mesilla Valley Transportation family, I was at GCU as a loan officer. I feel that I acquired some skills there, providing customer service, learning, to listen to the customer and, learning patience. I think that helped me out right now where I'm at with Mesilla Valley Transportation, because I could actually apply those skills to what I do now, which is, helping drivers, getting them behind the wheel and getting them a job. So basically what I do here in recruiting, it's something good. We for sure give jobs to drivers, so it feels good, that we help people. Communication is great there in our department, from leadership to employees. We have a good working environment there, and it feels homey. Like, it feels like a home environment. It feels a family-oriented environment. So, yeah. I guess I acquired skills here at Mesilla Valley Transportation. One of them would be knowledge of the transportation industry. I was not aware of the transportation. I was just more into financing, and I think it's good to know that transportation takes a big role in our country, and we do something good here. What made me apply at Mesilla Valley Transportation was basically word of mouth, the reputation that this company has. You see them everywhere on billboards, the trucks in the street, you see, you hear them in the news ads. So you see Mesilla Valley Transportation everywhere, and you just hear from people here, local people, saying that Mesilla Valley is great, it's a great company to work for, and I was excited to join. My life changed when I joined Mesilla Valley Transportation in a big way. And one of them was them, of course, providing stability, giving me a peaceful state of mind, knowing that I could provide for my family, knowing that I could do what I do every single day without worries of, job security, in other words. And they actually helped me out a lot as well, as far as my daughter. She's 17. She wanted to get a first job in the summer. Marketing was able to go ahead and help me out, bring her in here as an internship over the summer, which she loved. She gained a lot of experience for her being her first job. Now she loves it. Now she wants to go to school for it and get a degree, so she's happy, and I'm happy. I would definitely recommend people to work here. Ever since I walked here the first day, it felt like a family-oriented work environment. Everyone's smiling, everyone's friendly, everyone talks to you like if they know you for years. So for sure, if I had to go ahead and tell someone, I would definitely recommend someone to work here at Mesilla Valley. My name's Josue Fierro. I'm a driver recruiter, and MVT changed my life.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Okay, so our favorite internal recruiter said, let's first talk about Division 440. So if you can do your Vanna White thing. Okay, perfect. 440. So that's going to be Tennessee. So the hiring areas is the Memphis, and Nashville, 75 miles of those, Memphis, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, and Houston, Texas, where we are now, 75 miles of those areas. The driver will be out 5 to 7 days, and you're going to make 1,125 to 1,250 a week. And you'll drive about 2,500 miles a week, and you'll do a reset up to 48 hours home time. Remember, we can take teams or solos on any of these accounts. Okay. So if it's a solo, you need 6 months experience. If you a team, same thing. But let me give you a scenario. So let's say you're somebody that just has 2 months experience, and then you have a team partner that, let's say, is your mom or whomever, and has a lot more experience than that, let's say 2 years experience. Those two can definitely be teamed up, not a problem. And then you all would do 5 to 5,500 miles per week, and then have a reset up to 48 hours as well. Okay, so let's go to your next thing here. Then we got the good old Nashville. So this is your Division 400. Like Pearson says, this is your Mid-Atlantic. That basically goes up to what they consider the Northeast, but it's not really Northeast because you're not going into New York or anything fancy like that. Okay, you're going to hiring area is 75 miles of Nashville. We really like this one because hold on to your seats. I like this pay. It's 1740 a week on average. So your solo drivers will make 2,800 miles to 3,000 miles a week, and we are taking teams, and you are 5,600 to 6,000 miles a week. Again, you all are home, reset to 48 hours. So that's this. No New York City and no New England states at all. And you do get bonuses on here, like your productivity bonuses and all that good stuff. Okay. So let's go to the next one, Vanna White. Okay, we stand in this Atlantic area here. So we got for Division 410, it's going to be Nashville, Tennessee, and Lexington, Kentucky. Nashville, you need to do 50 miles, live 50 miles of there. In Lexington, 30 miles is where you need to live. You do have productivity bonus there as well. The pay is excellent. It's $16.50 a week. And these drivers is solo 2,500 to 3,000 miles a week here. Okay, and for this, you'll just basically be doing like the Midwest and a little spread out from there, but not much of anything there. This is a very attractive run, if I might say, when it comes to this. So making $16.50 a week is amazing on this run. So you could take it down. Now, Vanna White. If any of these jobs right here fit your fancy, give us a call. Nimar will be waiting by the phone, won't you, Nimar? Take yourself off of mute. We can't hear you. 281-968-3100. What's your extension, Nimar?
6.
6. So 281-968-3100. Nimar's extension is 6. Or you can go directly to the Intella app, which is on our website at rigonwheels.com. And it's the application. So you would just say driver app and be able to go there and fill out the application. So MBT has a lot of openings. I'm not gonna lie, they have a lot of openings. It's just that these are the extremely hot jobs that we are trying to fill right now. So if you are in El Paso, if you're in the DFW area, if you're in Houston, Texas, you saw the San Antonio, if you are in Memphis, Kentucky, not North Carolina, well, Jacksonville,
Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix, Arizona. Anything else I'm missing? That we
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Albuquerque, Definitely 100% give us a call. Also, just to let you know, we recruit for over 40 companies. So if you're not in those areas, give us a call at 281-968-3100. We have companies that will take you with as little as 3 months experience. Okay. So that's not a problem. Or go directly to the website at rigonwheels.com and go to the driver application form. Okay. I want us to go to a quick commercial. Kayla, didn't you say somebody else had a question?
Yes, I do have a
Okay.
question for you.
Okay, so let's go to quick commercial and then we'll take that question before we get off of here. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Okay. So, Kayla, tell us your question.
So the question is, I'm planning on moving to Tulsa, Oklahoma from Seattle, Washington. Can I use my Washington state address for the past 3 years on an application until I get the required months to become an Oklahoma resident?
Well, the one really doesn't have anything to do with another for us. That is probably some other requirements outside of work. So let me kind of break it down for you. Once you move and get your address in Oklahoma, you fill out your application with your Oklahoma address. We don't, there's no time restriction on how long you have to be in Oklahoma in order to get a job using your Oklahoma address. And depending on the company, it would say whether or not you need to switch your driver's license over from Washington to Oklahoma.
All
So
right.
that one right there. So that's, I think that I answered her question or his question. What do you think, Nimar? Did you have something else that you wanted to say?
Yeah, no, like just put in your Oklahoma address, I guess, because you would be looking for a job out of Oklahoma, so we'll be able to help you better.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Don't put your Washington address. Now, on the application, it's going to ask you for your previous addresses. Do put that down. Make sure you do that.
Yeah, I
And
was gonna
if
say.
you, yeah. And then if you go ahead and already switch your driver's like your CDL over to Oklahoma, make sure you put your previous CDL, your Washington State driver's license down as well, and make sure you surrender that. And any tickets that you might have, I don't care if they're parking or whatever, go ahead and get those taken care of as well. So that's the only advice that we have with that. Trying to take care of any questions that might fit that. Anything
right.
else question
Yeah.
wise?
What kind of loads does MVT haul?
They're all dry. Everything that MVT does is dry. They don't have any touch freight. I think they have one thing that might be tailgate, but that's it. MVT doesn't do any hazmat, and that's what we laugh about all the time. Pearson is so funny when he talks about how you don't have to have any glow in the dark suits. Now, Nimmer and I, believe in drivers being bulletproof. And what that means is being as marketable as possible. You need your TWIC card, you need your hazmat, your doubles and triples. In my opinion, as a driver, you never know. Those are just things you have. Okay. It's the same thing I tell Nimar as a professional recruiter. There are things that you need to have, whether or not you use them or not. Okay. That's just what we have. Now, with saying that, back to MBT. MBT only does dry van. They don't touch anything. So you don't need a lumper. You're not going to throw your back out. And I'm not a doctor, so let me put that disclosure out there. But typically, you're not going to throw your back out because you're not touching any freight, and there's no tanker, no hazmat, or anything like that. So when you go home, you're not going to glow in the dark.
All right. Sounds good. My last question is will probably be for Nimar. How can a recruiter help with retention? I'm tired of hopping to jobs.
Maybe like just when we first put you in for a job, just put the driver in for the job that he actually wants. Like give him multiple options, know what he really wants. Is he looking for more home time or more pay? Like everyone has different preferences, so just find the job that best matches what the driver is looking for. And of course, the driver will like you will get the retention if the person has what he's actually looking for. Like just make sure what the driver wants. Ask more questions like you want to be more home or you want to make more pay. So just find something accordingly.
Is this a driver asking or a recruiter asking?
I
Kayla.
believe it's a driver. I can't.
Okay, so as a driver, let me interject a little bit because I think we interpreted it as a recruiter was asking. But like as a driver and you call in to Nimar, make sure you're being as open as possible because one of the things that Nimar wants to know is what is it you're looking for and what is on your MVR and your background. We do not, I'm a Virgo. So the way I train and coach the recruiters are to be realistic. I am not this glass half full person. What I want to know is what is the reason why MVT or any company, but what is the reason why MVT will not hire you? Okay. That way we can get that out of the way. It may be that it's nothing. It could be that you're not understanding how to put it on the application. You don't understand how to communicate it to the internal recruiter. It could be something very, very simple, or it could be that you need to go to another company before you go to this company. And then when you say you're tired of hopping around, what I would ask is what's going on is making you hop around, right? Somebody is not communicating properly. So what we want to do is sit back and actually make a game plan for you.
Yeah.
But that would take literal communication. You being extremely open and knowing, not necessarily knowing what you want, because sometimes we think we want one thing, but like knowing that you're ready to make a change and then knowing that you want to tell us stuff. That's the thing. You have to be open. And then we'll be able to tell you based on what you're saying and what is on your record, what you qualify for.
Yeah.
All right. The last thing I have is a comment from Ting Ting who says, "Thank you so much for the answers to my questions. It's much appreciated for your time."
Oh, you're so sweet. You're welcome. You're welcome. Love you to death. Love you. Love you. So this has concluded everything. Shout out to Josue because he gave us the divisions that have a lot of openings and they have some good pay on those divisions. So definitely shout out to Josue. I'm not gonna say he the best recruiter at MVT. What I will say is This Virgo
He's
said he's the best. Yeah, he's my favorite. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. He's my favorite. So, but we want you to be safe. This is the middle of May. We have a couple of weeks left, and it's June, and then it's just party time, right? Or y'all gonna have to check on me. That's it. That it's just so that's it. So just be safe. We will definitely see you here next week, Tuesday, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you all have any questions or comments, do not hesitate. Definitely shoot them to our email at recruiting@rigonwheels.com. Bye.